and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Box Young Kings and Queens. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, showing your support, tuning into the lives. Definitely, man, Renee Box Young is a platform where we simply discuss, critique, and analyze, simply talk, hey, the sport of boxing in a level-headed, coherent fashion. Definitely, you know how we do it here, man. If you're a new listener, go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the notification bell so you know when I do my flash lives, premieres of my videos such as this, etc., etc. We keep pushing content, man, definitely, because we love the sport of boxing. If you love the sport of boxing, this is a place for you. Hey, we don't complicate life. We just love boxing. Hey, I definitely want to talk about this, man. Get right to this. You know what I'm saying? Concerning Chris Algeri. He said some things concerning, the whole, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it, the Canelo and Plant fight. This is a fight that's definitely worthy to be talked about and, analyzed and broken down, and it's going to lead up very nicely, you know what I'm saying? I think there's going to be a great lead up to this fight. There's already a great lead up thus far, even though it postponed, even though there was original negotiations and all that drama. You already know what's going on. The business stuff, blah, blah, blah. Thankfully, there's a date now, right? November. I forgot the date, but it's in November. You already know the date. I don't, but it's in November. I know. I'm very hopeful that the fight's going to go down, and I'm confident it will go down, okay? So, this is great stuff all around. Hats off to both Canelo and Caleb Plant for stepping up to the plate, man, for an undisputed bout. This is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I got nothing to knock here. I know a lot of people want to knock Caleb Plant. I know a lot of people want to say Caleb Plant and, say that, Canelo's going to just steamroll over him. And I don't know, man. I mean, it's going to be a good fight. That's all I know. And I want to freaking watch this, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? And I want to get to, obviously I got my opinion who's going to win, but I want to get to what Chris Algeri is saying and obviously give my input. Bam, let's get right to it. Badlefthook.com or whatever, a source there where, they push articles on boxing stuff. So it says here, Chris Algeri. Now, may I first say this before I get into that, okay? I gotta say this, man. Chris Algeri, I'm not looking out for him like that, because ever since he fought Spence, I don't know how long, it was a long time ago. Spence did wonderful against Chris Algeri. I respect Chris Algeri's input, though, because, he's been in that ring, man, and he has a decent amount of fights in his pro career. Like I said, I'm not looking out for him like that. I'm not an expert to that degree concerning the sport of boxing. I've said it so many times that, I'm one of those that know the least in the sport of boxing compared to all these platforms out there, man. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm learning on the job here, so, but, Chris Algeri, I'm not looking out for him like that, man. Ever since he fought Spence, I definitely watched that fight years ago. Spence did wonderful against Chris Algeri, you know what I'm saying? But Chris Algeri, he got some decent skills. I like his footwork. I like, his just what he does in the ring. But I'm not looking out for him like that. That's just me, okay? Call me whatever you want. I've said it time and time again. Call me casual, whatever. I'm just not looking out for him like that, you know what I'm saying? However, I do respect his opinion because he's been in that ring. He has a decent amount of fights in his record, and, it is what it is. And he went on a long hiatus after, Spence. And then after that, if I'm not mistaken, sometime after, 2-year hiatuses this guy does, man. He comes back to a couple fights and then just disappears again. I'm just not looking out for him anymore like that. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't look out for him anyway, so, but it is what it is. But I definitely respect what he has to say, though, okay? And what he says, okay, what Chris Algeri says concerning Caleb Plant and, Canelo, I think is very accurate. And let's get right to it. So, Chris Algeri breaks down, it says here in Bad Left Hook, link in the description, Chris Algeri breaks down Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant. Thinks David Benavidez gives Canelo real trouble. Now, everybody knows, man, there's a whole lot of talk on that. There's just a whole lot of talk on Canelo Benavidez, Canelo Plant, Canelo Ward, Canelo Benavidez, Canelo Plant. I mean, it's just like a triangle thing, man. I'm kind of more just focusing more on... I made one video, maybe two, I don't know, concerning Canelo and Benavidez, and, but I'm trying to focus more on what is tangible. You know what I do, and I just try to stray away from all these fantasy fight stuff, because, ladies and gentlemen, up to now, let's be realistic here, Canelo and Benavidez, that's pie in the sky right now, that's fantasy stuff. And this Ward stuff, this Andre Ward versus Canelo, that's even more pie in the sky stuff, man. I've said it before, man. I went live and talked about it. Spent a long time on that, talking about that But I just don't talk about it over and over and over and over. You already know how I do it here on this channel, man. I don't do overkill stuff. If other people do it, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I just don't do that with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's pie in the sky, man. I don't think Andre Ward's gonna come back anytime soon to fight Canelo. If he does, people are speculating he's gonna have at least a couple warm-up gigs or whatever. I mean, I don't think he's gonna come directly to fight Canelo, man. I mean, that's just it's pie in the sky, man. Benavidez right now, I don't even think he's in the position to fight Canelo. No, I'm not talking about the IQ and skills. No, just positionally speaking, man. The belt got stripped of him. He's going to fight Ustakati. He's just kind of starting back from square one, going back to the drawing board, and just working his way up. Benavidez is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Love him, but it's just the situation that he's in right now. I don't think he's in a position to fight Canelo. And Canelo is going to be looking at the situation like this too. And that's what he's doing. He's going for the belts. He's going to look at Benavidez like, you don't have a belt, man. You got to work your way up. You know what I'm saying? So all due respect, but it's pie in the sky stuff, man. That's why I don't really talk about it. But so let's get back to it. So let's check it out, man. I want to show you this. Let's scroll down just a tad here. So this is what Algeri has to say concerning Caleb Plant and how he'll perform against Canelo. So let's get right to it, man. It says Algeri on if Caleb Plant will put up a better fight against Canelo than Billy Joe Saunders. A lot of people talk about that too. A lot of people are breaking down this fight between Plant and Canelo and talking, always mentioning Billy Joe Saunders because everybody knows a story there too. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders, man, has a similar style, quote unquote, to Caleb Plant, things of that nature. And, so this is why, I'm assuming this is why Algeri is bringing that up. Billy Joe Saunders, he says here, quote, I think Plant's footwork and rhythm and hand speed will pose more of an issue in the beginning than Saunders. Saunders, the more offensive he is, the better he'll do, but he'll be at more risk, which is exactly what happened in the fight. If he would have just moved around the ring, he would have lost every round. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, yeah. Okay, so here we go. I think Plant probably has a better style to fight from the outside. So here's the focus here, ladies and gentlemen. So Algeri thinks that Caleb has a better style from the outside and still be able to be competitive. So I think it'll go more rounds. I'm not necessarily sure if he'll be more effective, though. Now, just want to give my 2 cents concerning that. What he's saying concerning, Caleb Plant. I mean, a lot of people are saying the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not that, you know what I'm saying? It's not that, let's just, and I say it so many times, ladies and gentlemen, and I say this for the new listeners, okay? For those who are new, because we're getting new subscribers, thankfully, you know what I'm saying? Thanks to you all. Thanks to the community. You guys are awesome, you know what I'm saying? It's no hate towards any fighter. We don't do that here. You know what I'm saying? We just look at it from an objective fashion. Whether whoever the heck it is, I just look at everything in an objective manner. You know what I'm saying? As unbiased as possible. And it's not like people are hating on Plant. It's not like, in Algeri, a lot of people are saying what Algeri is saying. They're saying the exact same thing, ladies and gentlemen. And I listen to what boxing community has to say. I mean, I have an open mind like that. If we have a closed mind and think that we're right all the time, I mean, I don't know, man. That's not what I do. I try to be as open as possible. I try to listen to the commentators, and take in what's edifying and what's true and what's coherent as much as possible. I've said it time and time again. And I pushed a couple videos about it concerning Timothy Bradley. I mean, Timothy Bradley, he does have, nuggets, gems, that he speaks sometimes. And I made videos about that. While everybody has been hating on Timothy Bradley, I push some videos and say, you know what? Hey, he speaks some truth sometimes, man. Just like everybody. Don't we all say things that are incoherent sometimes? I guess we do, right? We're just human beings, no? But a lot of people in the boxing community also, fans out there that love the sport of boxing. And I definitely consider people who love the sport of boxing. Of course I am. Of course I do that. I'm not just going to ignore them and say, oh, you suck and you don't know what you're talking about. No, I mean, there's a lot of people out there, ladies and gentlemen, in the box community that know what they're talking about because they love the sport. And, why am I saying this? Because Algeri's saying what a lot of people are saying. I repeat, I'm going to repeat this, what he says. I think Caleb probably has a better style to fight from the outside and still be able to be competitive. I mean, we all know that, and a lot of us are saying that because Caleb Plant brings those skills, ladies and gentlemen. And he continues to say, so I think it'll go more rounds. A lot of people are saying that too. I'm not necessarily sure if he'll be more effective, though. That's the thing. You see, that's the thing right there. That's the other part I want to focus on here. It says, I'm not necessarily sure if he'll be more effective, though. I humbly agree with that. I humbly agree with Chris Algeri, man. I'm not so sure that, Caleb Plant will be so effective with that outside fighting. However, there are things to consider concerning Caleb Plant. I guess we could call this kind of a breakdown, but we're piggyback riding, or whatever you want to call it, off of what Chris Algeri is saying, okay? And why am I saying this and why I'm making this video? Because what I think Chris Algeri is saying is very accurate, as I said at the beginning of this video. You know what I'm saying? I'm not so sure, man, and I agree with Chris Algeri, I repeat, that Caleb Plant will really give problems to Canelo. I think that skills that Caleb Plant has, those skills that he has, it will carry him out more rounds. I mean, it'll help him last more, in the fight. It'll probably go to 12 rounds. But I just personally think, man, that Canelo's shots are just too accurate. He's too experienced. But and what I was gonna say earlier. Okay, now this is one thing another thing that amongst several things that favor Caleb Plant. I'm not saying that nothing favors him. Of course not. He has several things that are going for him in this fight. And I think Caleb Plant himself has said it. He's a natural 168 pounder. He's been fighting there for most of his career, at least, I think, or all of his career. I haven't been following. I admit, I haven't been following Caleb Plant since day one. Of course not. I don't know what the heck. How he's done in his amateur career. I don't know. I don't do that amateur stuff. You know what I'm saying? Amateur career stuff, and I follow them there. I don't know. I started following him around, when it was around halfway through his pro career up to now. And from what I understand, he's been fighting at 168 for a long time. I just put it that way. I can't give you the dates. I can't give you the freaking numbers. I don't get that precise and accurate on those details and that data. Just like I don't do that pay-per-view talk. I don't really do that, you know what I'm saying? But, Caleb Plant, man, we understand that. We understand that as a boxing community. And I reiterate, I think Caleb Plant has said that before, that he's been, he's a natural 168. So that may help him. That may favor him, in this fight. He's a big guy, man. I mean, I don't know the sizes. I haven't even checked that. But, as the fight gets closer, and we'll see the face-off soon, in the press conferences and stuff like that. I think Plant's a bigger guy, okay? But then again, that can be also, you can look on the flip side to this. Canelo, he's used to fighting bigger guys. I mean, that's another thing right there. Yeah, maybe some were out of their prime. Yeah, maybe some weren't, top notch, whatever. But he knows how to fight taller guys, man. That's nothing strange to Canelo. That's nothing out of the ordinary there. That's one of the reasons why I also got Canelo beating Benavidez, because Benavidez, that's nothing new. This tall guy stuff is nothing new to Canelo, ladies and gentlemen. This tall guy stuff is nothing new to him. That long reach stuff, that his opponents possess, it's nothing new to Canelo, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing new to him. On the flip side, Caleb Plant this is gonna be new to him. And this is the reason why. Let's continue reading this, because this is some good stuff that, Algeri, respect to Algeri, man. He continues to say here, on Canelo historically having the most difficulty with mobile fighters. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. With a good jab, and if Plant doesn't fit that bill to give Canelo serious issues. Okay, so here it goes. Anyone who's a good boxer, and this is Chris Algeri, anyone who's a good boxer and has a good jab is a problem for anybody. Facts. Again, Plant is undefeated. He's proven up to this point. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. He hasn't fought the same caliber of guys yet. He hasn't been in a show. This is all facts, guys. We cannot debate this. We can't. Now, I got to stop here. So when he says he hasn't fought the same caliber of guys yet, like I said, I keep an open mind to all these people, everybody in the box community as much as possible, at least. You know what I'm saying? It's a fact that Caleb Plant hasn't fought the caliber of guys that that he's gonna face in Canelo. No way, ladies and gentlemen. And the caliber that Canelo has fought. On the flip side, Canelo has been criticized. And let's be real about this. Let's just not be, throughout the years. I'm not talking about ever since he started fighting. As of late, Canelo, and getting these 3-4 fight year projected fights in this year. I'm talking about years ago, since years, okay? A lot of people, prominent names, respected names. I don't even have to mention them. If you don't know, you can do the research on that, okay? I don't have time to go back on that, all the way back to that. I know that people can, counter argue that on Canelo's side, though. You know what? He hasn't fought the top, the prime fighters, the prime champs. He selectively chooses them. I know he's been criticized for that. I have criticized him for that too. So on the flip side, people can counter argue that what Chris Algeri is saying. That's why I'm mentioning this. That, you know, that Caleb Plant hasn't fought the same caliber of guys yet. People can say, you know what, well, Canelo, I mean, he's in the same boat practically. You know, I mean, he's fought all these guys, and, you know, he knew he can beat them all. And, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say that, though. I understand, and I have criticized him myself, but when this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Canelo and Plant. When you compare them two and the guys they have fought, there's no comparison here, ladies and gentlemen. There's no comparison and debate here. That's a fact. What Chris Algeri is saying here is a big fact, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm trying to say here. He hasn't fought the same caliber of guys yet. That's big facts. And he continues to say, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. He hasn't been in a show of this kind of size. Big facts. Caleb Plant has not been in a show of that kind. That's big facts. He continues. He hasn't been in front of a guy like Canelo. Oh my gosh, that's scary. You know, that's just scary. You know, for me, oh my gosh, yeah, and that's true too. That's true too. All due respect, man. We know the story. The Caleb Truaxes, the Fig and Buttocks, all due respect. You know, Mike Lee's, whatever the dude's name was, Gary Lee. I don't know, man. Those names, Ustakatis, and, you know, like I said, I respect these guys, but that's just facts, man. You cannot debate it, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot debate that, okay? He has not been in front of a guy like Canelo. Not even near that, ladies and gentlemen. Not even close. And it continues to say, that makes some guys step up. And yeah, on paper, he's got a lot of tools that can give Canelo an issue. But Canelo is a different thing now. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, than he was when he fought those other guys who gave him trouble. His jab's better. He's way faster. Facts, man. Like, he's gotten faster even though he's moving up in weight classes, so he's much more explosive now. You see those reasons that Chris Algeri, and I don't think Chris Algeri's biased here, man. He's given, I think, you know, Chris Algeri is a very coherent guy. Like I said, I don't follow him like that. The things I have heard him say, you know, in the past, he's you know, in commentary at least. Like I said, I don't follow him in the ring like that, but, you know, it's things that he has said, like giving his input on these kinds of things in certain interviews when they follow him, you know, backstage or wherever the heck he is, in a stadium or whatever. I don't know what Chris Algeri really does right now, but I guess he's boxing. I don't know, man. I don't follow him like that. But what he does say, man, he does speak facts sometimes. You know, from what I heard and from what I know of Chris Algeri, he's a level-headed guy, man. You know, respect to Chris, man. Respect to Chris. You know. And the thing here, man, is it's true. I mean, and you're fighting, and the thing here, Plant is fighting a prime Canelo, man. I mean, and I personally think he's gotten better. Now, however, this is a flip side up, and this is the beauty of this fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is the beauty of Canelo versus Plant. It's just a really good matchup, because let's be factual, okay? Let's be factual. Let's not look at this in a biased fashion. Yeah, Canelo walked through Billy Joe Saunders. Yeah, he broke his eye, whatever, but Billy Joe Saunders was doing all right in that fight, man. Because if you recall, round after round, Canelo tried to catch Billy Joe Saunders with that, like, you know, that kind of like an uppercut, you know what I'm saying? And he finally caught him, like, in round 8. That punch that broke Billy Joe's... Okay, check this out. That punch that Canelo threw, that, like, uppercut on you know, that uppercut when Billy Joe Saunders kind of, like, ducked down, boom, he caught him at the right time. You know, he caught him at the right. But the thing here, ladies and gentlemen, Canelo tried to throw that round after round, and Billy Joe Saunders was able to elude that. You know what I'm saying? Billy Joe Saunders was able with that defense, you know, and that skill that Billy Joe Saunders had. I'm not knocking Billy Joe Saunders. I know a lot of people want to knock Billy Joe Saunders, and in the lead up to the fight, in the lead up to the Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo fight, I wasn't knocking Billy Joe Saunders, man. I definitely respect the skills that Billy Joe Saunders has. And with that elusiveness to a certain degree that Billy Joe Saunders has, you know, Canelo wasn't able to catch him with that shot that he was trying to catch him with. He finally did in round 8 or 9 or whatever round it was where he broke that eye. But it took some time, ladies and gentlemen, for Canelo to do that, okay? But why am I saying this? Because Canelo's not flawless, man. Nobody's flawless in the fight game. Okay, fine, let's go back a little bit more. You want to go to an immaculate defensive fighter who mixed it with offense? Who mixed it with offense? I'm not talking about Rigo. You know, Mayweather. You know, he wasn't flawless either. He got caught. He almost got knocked down, man. by Mosley. I mean, immaculate fighter, but you're gonna get caught, man. It's gonna hurt too, and you're gonna get wobbled to a certain degree. Devin Haney, he got caught by Jorge Linares. Even though people want to hype up Ryan Garcia and say he's just untouchable, went down by Campbell, etc., man. We could just go on and on. And what am I saying here? What am I saying there? I think personally Canelo has improved. Oh yeah, he has. And what Chris Algeri, man, is saying, I definitely agree with what he's saying here, man. It's facts. It's facts. His jab's better, way faster. He's gotten faster even though he's moving up in weight classes. Explosive. That's all facts, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Canelo has his like I said, I repeat, and let's just go to his most recent fight when he fought Billy Joe Saunders, trying to catch him with that shot in the inside because Billy Joe Saunders would duck down constantly throughout the fight. He finally caught him, towards the later half of the fight, right after the halfway through the fight, he caught him, broke his eye, but it took him a while to get that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Canelo has some minimal flaws. You know what I'm saying? I personally think he would use more footwork in there, though, in the ring. But other than that, man, he makes up for it in all the other skills and tools that Canelo has, man. He definitely makes up for it. Now, also another thing that Canelo has going for him, which I don't know if Chris Algeri is stating it, because then he goes on to just talk about Benavidez. And like I said, I don't really want to focus too much on the Benavidez talk because it's pie in the sky right now. And I think, personally, if Benavidez fights Canelo while Canelo is in his prime, I think Canelo wins. I mean, that is just simple as that. I'm not going to get into all the details and try to break that down because it's quite obvious why, but I don't want to break that down. Why? I don't want to waste my time talking about that. Okay, there's another thing I want to talk about here, and I've talked about it before. I made a video concerning Zab Judah. Shouts out to Zab, man, warrior. Check that video out. It's on my channel, man. You can see it in the thumbnail with Zab Judah and Mayweather. Okay, he gives props to Mayweather. And I, in that video, talk about how, because Zab Judah talked about it too, that Mayweather's work ethic was just off the charts. Canelo's work ethic is also off the charts, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that post that Canelo pushed the other day or the other month or whenever it was on Instagram saying, back in the gym? And then Caleb Plant posts something right after that and says, been in the gym? I mean, if you know Canelo, ladies and gentlemen, Canelo just took a little month break or whatever, and he was back. Canelo is always in the freaking gym, man. That whole quote or saying or whatever you want to call it that Canelo uses, no boxing, no life, he lives it, man. He lives it. I'm not saying Plant doesn't live it because he's always in shape year-round too. But has Plant faced Canelo, like a guy like Canelo whose work ethic is freaking off the charts, his discipline? I mean, wow, man. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. These factors and these aspects and these things that Chris Algeri mentions, this all leads me to believe, because I definitely agree with Algeri, you know what I'm saying? This all leads me to believe that I think so, like what Algeri is saying. I think it's a quite legitimate, nice assessment concerning Plant and Canelo breakdown. That, yeah, Plant, he might last, more rounds. He might even go 12. But I just think that, Canelo's going to legitimately beat Plant, man. And his face will probably end up like in that thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? His face will probably end up like in that thumbnail, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just my humble opinion. I don't do favorites. I don't do that freaking man fan stuff. Because I have applauded all these fighters just as I have criticized all these fighters where I think it's necessary to criticize them. Because that's life, ladies and gentlemen. There's a balance, there's a dose of good and bad. There's a dose of favorable and non-favorable aspects with everybody in anything, in any profession, in any field, in anything, ladies and gentlemen. That's just life. You know what I'm saying? That's just life. And I personally think, man, that's what's going to happen. I think Caleb Plant's face might end up like that. Maybe a little worse. Maybe kind of like Oscar Valdez against Consequio. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't care about it, really. That's just me. And y'all know why. Y'all know why. Respect to Valdez, but because y'all know why. I don't want to get to that. But it might end up like that, man, his face. I'm sure Canelo will have a couple, scrapes in his face too. It's going to be a good fight. But I think Algeri, his assessment is very, very, very coherent, man. And I think Canelo's going to get this win, man. But as the fight gets closer, You know, everybody knows the story. Plant has Ward in his corner. It's going to be a good fight, man. I'm just not, you know. I don't know, man. Maybe I can be wrong like I was with Ugas and Pac, but I just don't think I'm going to be wrong on this one, man. But we'll see, right? Who the heck knows? That's what boxing is about. That's the beauty of boxing. It's unpredictable. Things happen. Upsets happen. You know, I love it. I love the build-up. That's why I'm making this video, ladies and gentlemen. This is part of it, and let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the ride, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think, man? What do you think? Please comment in the comment section. Family who's, you know, tuning in, premiering, chat away. You already know. Y'all are always chatting away when you premiere. Tune in the premieres in real time. Playback gang. Comment in the comment section, please. I don't care if you're a Plant Man fan. I don't care if you're a Canelo Man fan. Just keep it man fan. Just keep it coherent, man. Keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Differing opinions, I don't care. Who do you think's gonna win? And what do you think about Chris Algeri's comments? And respect Chris Algeri, ladies and gentlemen, please. Don't try to say, oh, you know, Chris Algeri don't know what he's talking about. Who's he fought? Doesn't matter who he's fought. He knows what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he fought Spence. Spence schooled him. He freaking knocked him down and whatever the heck. I mean, it was so many years ago, I don't remember. But Spence freaking beat Algeri nicely. Didn't Algeri fight Pac-Man too? I think he did. But yeah, that goes way back. But you know, don't bring those silly arguments here, okay? Don't bring those silly arguments and try to discredit. That's the thing here. That's what a lot of people do. That's what a lot of fishy people do out there. They try to discredit comments from, like, in this case, Chris Algeri. Oh, you don't know what he's talking about. Who has he fought? Who the heck cares who he fought? He knows what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And Chris Algeri is a level-headed guy, man. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely agree with Chris Algeri with a lot he has to say. Maybe not everything, but a lot he has to say concerning this matchup in particular. So how do you guys think the fight's going to play out, man? Hey, Renee Boxing, I appreciate each and every one of you. Go ahead and like, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I do the premieres of my videos such as this. You can tune in real time, you know what I'm saying? The flash lives that I do. You know, I just love it, man. I just love chopping up the sport of boxing with each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you, man. Go ahead and share it in your social media platforms, and let's keep growing. Renee Boxing, peace out. Stay safe.